Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Love Fruit podcast, the podcast that is for raw vegans, fruitarians, people that love fruit, and everyone connected with that. And we have another fantastic guest today, and that is none other than my good friend Robert Rehnmark, um, sometimes known as the Raw Viking, but a good friend of many people in the raw vegan community. And Rob is one of the original people that went to the Woodstock Fruit Festival in the first year. So he's one of the few people that remember that. And he's also been to a lot of different festivals around Europe as well. And that's where I met Rob, at Woodstock and other events. In fact, the first year I went to Woodstock, we actually shared a cabin, but we didn't really get to know each other. But we were in the same cabin. And then I got to know Rob more at the Danish Fruit Festival and the Spanish Fruit Festival as well. So Rob is still pretty active online on some of the forums and gives people a lot of advice. So I thought it'd be good to hear more from Rob. And Rob, is there anything else you would like to tell us about in terms of introducing yourself?
No, not really. I mean, there isn't really much to say, except for what you said. I've been raw vegan for quite a while, and yeah, I'm also one of the people who is doing it in a colder climate. You know, one of the popular kind of reasons or excuses to have a hard time doing this, but I'm doing it in Scandinavia, so yeah.
That's excellent. We might talk about that in a little bit more detail because, as you say, it is a big reason for a lot of people to not give it their best shot. Um, what I want to talk about first is your story of how you moved towards this kind of lifestyle. And I know that you go back as a vegan many years, so maybe you can tell us a bit about that. But also, I believe that you kind of started to go towards raw veganism without really anyone telling you to do it or without coming across any information about it. Is that kind of right?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Actually, I started moving away from eating meat. You know, I started thinking about this meat eating, you know, as a ethical problem. At I don't know, 14, 15 maybe, around 16, I didn't eat any more meat, and then at 18, I was fully vegan, like 100% vegan. And I did notice quite a few like positive health effects. So like my migraines, for example, I had like really bad migraines, and this got so much better when I dropped the meat. And then when I went vegan, I was like, I don't even know how many times in a month or, you know, every year I had this migraine, but I could be in bed for like 2 days and, you know, in a dark, cold, completely silent room. That was what I needed. It was really bad. Um, but after going vegan, it was like, I don't know, I don't have any real numbers, but you know, in my estimate, it's like it was down to 5% of what it was, like the
Mhm.
suffering from the migraines.
Yeah.
So I noticed like really big difference. And that kind of triggered me to move towards more health seeking, so to speak.
Yes.
So then I actually started eating more and more fruits and greens and just fresh foods, because I figured that should be like the healthiest stuff, right? So and so already like, I don't know, 22 years ago, I started kind of transitioning to raw. And I wasn't eating completely raw. I was eating, most of my calories came from raw foods and fruits. And then I would eat some rice or lentils, and I would make a lot of sprouts at home, like alfalfa and lentil sprouts and stuff like that. So I was eating some heavier foods than I eat now, of course. But that's kind of the way it went. I went back to cooked foods. I was in a relationship for like 4 years or so. Um, and then when I got out of that, it was around 30, 31 years of age, I think. Yeah, so I went vegan at 18, you know, like 20 years I started to raw. then went back for a few years to more cooked. And then at 31 or so, I went back to raw fruits, like full on. And after that, sometimes I would eat some cooked foods. I didn't have this like super harsh uh, like rules. I wasn't doing like a dictatorship, towards myself and the diet. I would say, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like what really matters is the ethical part, and I can basically do whatever I want as long as it's vegan. I will not cause harm. I will not cause suffering in any way that I'm aware of.
Sure.
So I could eat a bag of potato chips, it's fine as long as there wasn't any animal products in it. So
yeah.
And so, but yeah, so I was eating a lot of raw, and most of my food was raw. Definitely like 95%. I would eat like a cooked meal once a week, or once every 2 weeks, and then I would do like periods of a year or two where I would eat 100% raw, and then maybe there was something going on and I would eat some cooked foods, just for whatever reason. But now I'm definitely like staying totally raw. It makes such a huge difference. The last 5%, and I was doing it like in a stable way over quite some time, and even at 5%, like from 95, like one cooked meal per week or two, to going totally fully raw, that made such a huge difference. Maybe not in these big ways like you notice with the health or something, but I noticed it in the like the performance of my body, how it works, how I could start running, like, okay, I had a lot of problems with my feet and knees and stuff, so I was in a lot of pain that I had to kind of figure out, but just how the body works, and how I was staying away from colds and flus and stuff like that. So it's yeah. Also, a part of the journey was figuring out that I shouldn't eat so much fat, actually.
Yeah.
Because I was working nights and walking like 20 to 25,000 steps, maybe down to 15,000 some nights, I don't know. But so I was spending a lot of energy, and I would like often eat in the car. I would bring food with me, and I always loved nuts, like crazy about peanuts and stuff, but I wouldn't eat peanuts, of course. I mean, they're roasted and stuff, but yeah. So I noticed how I didn't get much energy like in the body. It's like the signals were going to my brain that, yeah, this is energy rich food, but it didn't actually put more energy in my legs to do the work, to walk the like hundreds of flights of stairs in the night and stuff like that. So then I figured, okay, let's just try fruit then. So I just ditched the nuts and started eating more sweet fruits, and that worked really well, and it improved my health in many ways. And I also, in that process, I stopped eating salt, and my body suddenly flushed out some kind of kidney stone gravel or something, and
Wow.
so I noticed things going on and like healing processes in the body. So yeah, so I ended up with low fat and no salt and just fruits and greens, and
So,
that's yeah.
and that was all kind of just your own journey of like experimentation, really.
Yeah, exactly. And then I heard about this David Wolf guy, like some raw guru or whatever. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So I checked out some videos of him, but I only like listened to him for a couple of months or so. I don't really know, but I mean, I pretty quickly I figured out that he was pretty much a scam. He was just selling stuff and making some kind of sensation about whatever product he wanted to sell, and talking a lot of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but and yeah, eventually I came across the 80-10-10. So I was like, yeah, cool, let's check that out. And I read the book, and I was like, yeah, I agree. This is the thing that really works for me, and so yeah, I just keep going with that, and here
Did
I am. Yeah.
Did you make any changes from having read 80-10-10 and coming across the Raw Vegan community online, or had you pretty much sort of figured it out? Because not a lot of people figure it out on their own, you know?
Yeah, I don't think I made any differences, any changes. There was like no difference after I read the book, or, I mean, maybe I have learned some stuff. Um, I I guess I maybe have added some flax seeds, for example. I don't really remember when I did that way before, because I was aware of the omega-6 omega-3 balance, and I wanted to just, stay really good with that. So no, actually, yeah, so I didn't make many differences. Actually, I was eating more greens in the beginning too. I had a great need for the greens. I know at first it was difficult to eat them, but as I kind of learned and as my body got used to it, I noticed it was doing my body really well. I guess I needed to rebuild my mineral stores. My tooth health improved. So I kind of got some new and better enamel on my teeth, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, lately, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. And when did you come across, like at that time, was there websites around, or what was it you were exploring to connect with, like the raw vegan movement?
I don't really remember. I guess I just went out there, and I found this Woodstock festival. That was the first festival I went to. I don't know what year it was, but it was the first one that was actually closer to Woodstock than it is now.
And how did you find out about that?
I have no clue. I mean, it must have been the internet, just, I don't know, finding it through some forum. I guess Facebook was around then too. I don't know how old Facebook is, actually.
Did you go on your own, or were with other people, or?
No, I went on my own, actually. So it was really nice. I just booked a ticket and the flights, and I went over, and I had to take some buses and stuff. I think I landed in Albany, and had to take some buses. I met some people in some farmers market, and I had a really good time just taking the trip there, so, and it was quite fun. I mean, there was this small village, kind of basically a road crossing or something, like a really small place close to where the festival was. So I just walked from there, and I was walking up the mountain, along this road, and there was a car who passed me, and this curly head stuck out of the car, was like, "Are you a fruity?" or something like that. He shouted at me. I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." Because I was a day early. I had my tent with me, so I was just gonna sleep in the woods, the night before, because I was a day early. And so then I met Lindsay, the durian lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was together with Rob back then. So I met those guys. So I hung out with them, and from there on, it was just all really even more greatness. It's like super nice to meet those guys and all the people at the festival, and yeah.
And how was that first Woodstock Fruit Festival? What are your memories of it?
What did you say?
What are your memories of that festival?
I think it was a bit more personal, actually. Like you will get closer to all the people, because now it's like 500 people, and really you have no chance of meeting everybody. And personally, I don't get really stressed by it, but I get a bit like kind of wound up and just a bit more scattered in a way. At least it's been like that, But back then it was just fewer people, so you really got to meet a lot more people, like personally, and I really enjoyed that, actually. Yeah.
And who were some of the people you met? Do you remember? Was it mostly friends you met, or did you meet some of the speakers? Were you interested in meeting some of the, the people that were presenting?
Well, I wasn't really following anybody. I was just doing the lifestyle and wanting to meet people with kind of like minds. So I met like Christina. I met Crazy Banana Lady and Harley and the Jeanette and Alan.
Yeah.
The running, around Australia and stuff. And actually, had they run around Australia back then? I'm not sure. No, I think they did that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really sweet people. And of course, Michael, really, really nice guy, And I don't know, I knew nobody there, so I just went there to meet all sorts of people, and it was really, really cool. I remember, Tim Van Orden was there too. Really nice guy. So.
And did they have enough food for everyone? Did they have any problems with the food or anything like that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it was pretty good. Maybe some things, I mean, they can run short on stuff that needs to be like ripened and things like this. But I mean, where I'm coming from, I'm basically living off of bananas, eating dates for backup. And I have, of course, lots of frozen berries and stuff here, but I'm not really spoiled with the most variety, and the greatest choice. But so I think it was good. I was eating greens and dates and all sorts of fruit we had there. And
so you must have enjoyed it, because you obviously went back a couple of times and you went to a whole bunch of other festivals. What for you was the benefit of going to these events?
The community.
Right.
Definitely number one. Yeah. I mean, I didn't need any help in doing this. I didn't need any like support, or I didn't need any education. I just wanted to hang out with people.
Yeah.
Basically.
Do you find that in your general life? Do you find do you not quite fit in sometimes with kind of normal people, if you like?
Yeah. I mean, when you're sitting there at work, everybody they're eating like sausages and whatever meats and cooked foods, and I'm sitting there and I'm eating 20 bananas for lunch. Of course, it's a bit weird. You don't really fit in.
Absolutely.
But I mean, I've been vegan for a long time. I've been doing my own thing always. So I was like, yeah, you think this is strange? Well, I'm the one with the great health, and I'm doing awesome, and this is the way it should be. You guys, check this out and learn something. Not quite as arrogant as that might have sounded, but just putting it out there and making no excuses whatsoever.
Sure.
Just kind of standing straight for what I do, and people are inspired.
Absolutely.
They start eating more fruits and greens. They at least get into their head that, okay, this guy he hasn't eaten meat for more than 25 years, so apparently you don't actually have to eat it to survive. Yeah.
Well, that was my impression of you when I first met you. Was you were someone that was pretty. You weren't shy about standing up for what you believed in. Obviously, you're wearing a vegan T-shirt right now, and you're the kind of guy that would wear that in any scenario, really. And I also thought you were a very fit person when I met you. You were quite active. Are you still do you still exercise a lot? Is that still a part of your lifestyle?
Yeah, I'm much more fit now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, now I have a job that really rips the body apart. So during the winter, when we have lots of ice and snow and crap, it's really tough. And so I haven't been working out for strength as much. I need to rest as much as I can, basically, to recover and not injure myself. But back then, if I ran a 5K, I would hurt like hell. I would really hurt, like my knees and feet. So,
Yeah.
but now I do 50K. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're an ultra marathon runner now.
Yeah, actually. I mean, I'm not doing the really long runs yet because my body is, my joints and everything, my muscles are not up for that yet, but I'm getting there. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you touched upon this a little bit, but obviously you live in Scandinavia, as you're saying. What does your diet look like on a daily basis? What's your sort of routines that help you with sticking to this lifestyle?
Well, I always make sure that I get like plenty of calories, that I do get all the energy I need and then some. Also, when I'm feeling bad, this is not always so easy, but when I'm feeling bad or having a hard time emotionally, like mentally, just kind of internally, I do my very best at facing my own emotions, facing my troubles. Your inner troubles, they are not a real reason to treat your body or yourself badly and eat harmful foods, or go back to the addictive foods, because that's what we usually do. We want comfort, right? So we go back to our comforts. If you're a heroinist, it's going to be the heroin. If you're an alcoholic, it's going to be alcohol. If you're like a normal person, it's going to be cooked foods. For me, it was bread. Bread is the big addiction for me. So I'm sober now. That's awesome. But yeah, that was the, like, eating enough. And then for a long time, for many years, I was pounding in the greens, like a lot of greens in the evenings. And that's basically it, kind of facing myself, facing my difficulties. And yeah.
Excellent, man. And is it mostly bananas and a big salad, or what's a kind of typical day?
Yeah, for a long time I was eating a lot of broccoli. Actually, I don't do that so much anymore. So, well, it's bananas in the morning when I wake up. If we take like a normal day, I eat nothing. I usually feel good just going with an empty stomach. And I'm hearing myself a lot. I don't know if there's like the sound on your end is going back to the microphone.
Yeah, I could probably put some headphones in. Give me a second.
Okay.
Let me just pause briefly. Okay, yeah, so we were talking a little bit about what you eat in a day, sort of thing. So you mentioned broccoli, which is an unusual one, but do you kind of just go with how you feel when it comes to vegetables and make sure you get enough fruit calories? Do you sometimes just eat fruit, or any changes like that?
Yes, I wanted to bring up broccoli and like these kind of weird vegetables, because in the beginning I was eating a lot of it. And I really think that it helped me kind of refill my mineral stores or something. It did me a lot of good, I think. And now I don't even eat greens every day, and I definitely don't eat very harsh greens. I mean, everybody's raving about kale, for example. That's a big no-no. It's gonna hurt coming out because it's so harsh, with all the cellulose. You can't really digest that stuff. So now that I have healed more, I'm feeling the effects of the harsher stuff much more. So I'm not eating that. It's like spinach now, iceberg, sweet peppers, and all these non-sweet fruits like tomatoes, cucumbers, of course, and some celery I eat. But I'm keeping it pretty much simple. I can probably send you a few pictures because I sometimes snap some pictures of my salads or my
Sure,
food, you know.
sure,
So yeah.
sure,
But like the typical day, I wake up in the morning, I drink water, you know, I want to get hydrated, and I go to work, and then the first meal will be like lunch at work, and that can be like 15, 20 bananas or a 1500 calorie smoothie or something
sure.
like that. I just keep it simple. If I have some other fruit, you know, when stuff is in season, it can be some melons, some piel de sapo or something like that. Oranges. I like to start the day with oranges, organic oranges only, actually, because the conventional ones are really like they're treated way too badly with the pesticides and fungicides and crap. And I noticed that it does not do me good. But yeah, so I start with water, and then I like to have some juicy fruit and maybe bananas for the, you know, later in the day. But it really differs, depends on what I have. Usually it's a lot of bananas, and then I get to the evening, I have some other fruit or more bananas, perhaps. Maybe I just fill up with some dates to get the calories in if I'm, you know, don't have much time, and then I will eat spinach, iceberg, and these other things, you know. But I have noticed as the years have passed, I have actually less of a need for the greens, it seems. But it depends on my activity levels and everything too.
Excellent. Well, that's a really good description of your diet. I think a lot of people will totally understand what you're doing there. Um, you talked about variety a little bit, but I know that is that one of the reasons of why you're considering moving to Ecuador, or not considering, you're doing it. And could you maybe tell me about what's what made you do that, and what made you think about that, and how have you gone about that whole process?
Yeah, well, um, I love the sun. Like who who doesn't?
Yeah.
And I want better quality fruit. It feels a bit like I have come as far as I can regarding my health with the quality of fruit that I get here. Of course, my health is superb, you know, compared to 99.99% of the population. But I want more, you know, and it's not like this obsession. But I just want to feel a bit better. I want to be able to maybe eat a bit less fruit, because I notice when I have higher quality fruit, I can eat a bit less of it, and I also naturally just don't feel like eating as much greens, for example. So I noticed that it's working better with the better fruit. And I want more variety. I want more sunshine. I want to, you know, be in the warmth close to the equator. And there are people doing that, you know, kind of starting up eco villages. And I have bought into that, and I'm going to Fruit Haven in Ecuador.
Right. So, why did you pick Ecuador? Is that particularly because of the people that are there already?
There are people there. That's definitely a factor. I don't have to worry about finding a place that's suitable and, you know, starting to set things up and
Hmm.
connect with the locals and everything like that. I mean, they're already started. Also, Ecuador has great visa laws.
Okay.
So I can stay there like most of the year as a tourist. Some other countries have better visa laws. You just cross the border and then you can stay there basically indefinitely. Just cross the border every 3 months or so. Some countries are like that, but Ecuador, it's pretty cool if you have a bigger investment there. Like I think it's 25 or $30,000. Then you will get like this investor's visa, a permanent visa. And there are other ways of getting a visa. Like if you have a university degree, you will also get a permanent visa. So it's quite easy to relocate to Ecuador, and it seems kind of stable and decent culture. Now I'm not going to be in a big city anyway, so um, it yeah, it seems pretty good where these guys are, the Terra Fruitis guys and the Fruit Haven guys, and I'm really excited about going there. I might not look or sound excited right now, but I'm leaving in less than 2 weeks. I'm going to stay there for a month. I have 3 hectares. That's about 7.4 acres. So
Wow.
I'm going to just plant lots of trees. It will be jackfruit, meringue, champidak, durian, all these, cool big ones, but also lots of different bananas, and I will plant papayas, passion fruits, like the Rollinia, or, all those kinds of fruits. Everything I can get my hands on, I'm going to plant as much as I can basically in this month, and hang out and meet the people who are there, and
So
see
what?
what it's
Yeah,
like.
what is the story of Fruit Haven and I mean, probably a lot of people haven't heard about it, but Fruit Haven and Terra Fruitis, what from your understanding is happening over there?
Well, it basically works like this. They buy a chunk of land. Someone, like 1 or 2 people, invest in a big chunk of land, and then they start this project and set up, with a realistic budget for how to develop and build like a community area, community house, and to have some tools, equipments, and actually make it work. And then people can buy in, and then they will get like their own private homestead lot basically. So it can be like a hectare or 1.5, or in my case I bought 3 hectares. And then for the price of that, like $16,000 for 3 hectares, I mean, you would get more land probably if you just put the money into buying land in Ecuador, but then you wouldn't be a part of this, and a lot of the money is going towards building community buildings, setting up water filtering, solar panels, internet connections, some electric bicycles for transportation, ATV for transporting building materials and stuff. So all that is kind of included in the price you pay for your homestead lot. So yeah, I think it's actually financially it's a really good deal for me, and it looks awesome.
So
So yeah,
you're going to build, are you going to build a house on it, or is there something there already you can live in?
there is nothing on my homestead lot. On my land, there is nothing. So I will just go and kind of start planting trees and put my hands in the dirt and see I mean, I know pretty much what it looks like from videos and photos and stuff. So I
Yeah.
have a pretty good clue, and starting to have some plans already for how and where to build my house or houses. But I want to just go there and kind of see it and see what I can do basically. But it will be a while before I start building a house anyways, because I'm just staying there for a month now, and then I have to go back and work. And then, sorry, just, so I'm just going there to plant and have a look at the place and start my plans, and come back to Oslo and continue working. And I will be working here for a few more years. And then the long-term plan is to build a house there and to actually quit my job and just stay most of the year in Ecuador. And then I can come back here to Oslo and work for 3 months every summer. That's pretty sweet. I mean, you make good money here compared to many other economies.
Sure.
So excuse me, just there's stuff popping up on the messenger. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, that does sound like a really good idea. So what's happening out there right? How many people are there right now? I know that Jason is involved with Terra Fruitis, and Peter that you're talking about is doing the Fruit Haven thing. Is there quite a lot of other people there?
I actually don't know how many people are there now, but there are people there, like a kind of small group. I don't know how many are there long term, like kind of um, stable residents.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people buying into these projects, so we are, we are growing in numbers, at least slowly over time. I actually don't know exactly how many are there right now, and I think it changes a bit. Yeah,
Awesome, man. Awesome. So that's going to be a big change in your life, obviously.
yeah,
And it's something that a lot of people actually have come into this movement have looked for something like that. They're looking for maybe community, or they're looking for to go to the tropics and buy some land and stuff like that. You guys are and them. They're some of the few people that are actually sort of doing it and trying to work out how to do it. So it'll be really interesting to follow what you're doing over the next few years and see how it goes for you.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And also, it's not like you have to spend a lot of money. You can also go there and help out and learn. I think there will be room for people to live on community land, and just put in a few hours of work every day. For the opportunity to stay there and live there, basically. So basically, like woofing, and yeah,
Yeah, like a kind of a woofing type experience.
yeah,
So we'll go back to a few other things. That's obviously something you're doing in the future, but we talked about this earlier on. People talk about the challenge of they're in a cold climate, and there's a lot of people that say, I live in a cold climate, so I can't do a raw vegan diet. You can't do a raw vegan diet in Norway. You can't do a raw vegan diet in Sweden or whatever. So what's the difference between you? How come you can do it and other people can't do it? Is it because of something weird about your genetics or something, or what's happening there?
yeah. I wish it was easier for me. The thing is, I want to do it, and of course, maybe I have used some weird excuses, sometimes to do something stupid. We all do that from time to time, I guess.
Hmm.
But really, um, there are always reasons, there are always excuses to not do what's best for you, or what you really want, or what you dream about. And I mean, that's just how most of us live.
Hmm.
We make excuses to not live our dreams, or to not do our best. Thing is, yeah, the fruit up here is not the best, but we do have it, and we
Yes.
have kind of consistent quality. Is a lower quality, but it's pretty much consistent quality, imported year round, from different places of the world, for different things in different seasons. So while in some places a particular fruit might have a season of a month or two, right? But here we can get them for like 6 months, because we import them from many different places. So it's in that way, it's kind of decent here, actually. And like berries, we have amazing berries. Most people don't know this. We have
Mm.
amazing berries here in Scandinavia, because the summers, they might be quite short, but they are very bright. There's
Yes.
a lot of sun. So like, I'm from further up north, and yeah, I did raw there too. In the winter, like, we might have 3 hours of daylight, because yeah, the earth is round, and it's kind of tipping, and how it's angling towards the sun. And so
Sure.
that in winter we have these really short days, and in summer is all daylight. We have no darkness. So that makes for like this intensive short season up
Yeah.
there. And the berries, for example, are absolutely amazing. And that is something that I take advantage of here. I'm going to miss it when I go like to Ecuador, I'm sure, but I will have lots of other good stuff. So
Awesome.
now I'm kind of rambling a bit. I don't know what we were talking about, like how to do it in the cold in the north.
Yeah, that's right. Don't
Yeah,
worry. Yeah. Well, that's what it's just really a conversation that people can listen into,
yeah,
that's what the vibe.
yeah.
I want
I
to talk
mean,
about,
yeah.
here's,
I just wanted to say something. It's
sure.
like there are like a few points. Okay, uh, drop the excuses.
Mm.
It's definitely possible to do. Eat enough, because in winter, to stay warm, you're gonna need to eat a bit more. Also, get fit,
Yep.
because we're lazy. Or I'm super lazy, and that's why I work out also, because it feels good to be fit. So it's easier to be fit than to be unfit. So I'm actually working out a bit because I'm lazy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
actually. And of course, as you get more fit, the working out, becomes fun. It becomes a reward in and of itself. But eat enough, build muscle, because it's the muscle that will produce heat. And when you're feeling cold and kind of down, don't, kind of crawl into yourself and become more, inactive. Become more active, go out and move your body. Okay, you can have a warm shower. I actually shower quite warm. I like that. But I always finish the showers ice cold, like turn it all the way down. And up
Mm.
here in winter, that water is going to be cold. There is, I mean, because everything is cold. So it's like, and that really actually stimulates the body to also produce more heat and get used to the cold. So that actually helps. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent advice. And one thing I want to let people know about, I hope you don't mind, is you do have a YouTube channel. You've not been posting on it as much as you used to, and I really enjoy a lot of your videos and enjoyed it when you were posting a lot. It's Raw Viking if anyone wants to check it out.
Yeah.
Um, I with your trips to Ecuador, might you start putting up a few more videos for us and show us what you're doing?
Yes. I've been getting these questions a lot, and promising all the time. Yeah, I am getting back to it. I love making the videos. I have a lot to say. I see a lot of mistakes and problems out there. I see a lot of misinformation that I want to kind of balance out a bit. And yeah, I really do want to make more videos. I guess I am making excuses in this case. I've just been really busy with other stuff and not really up for it. But that is really, really in my plans to do a lot more videos and
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see more of your stuff. But one thing I want to say is, if people do want to get some of your advice, you're on some of the forums on Facebook quite a lot. I think the 80-10-10
yeah.
vegan fruitarian forum, you're on that a lot. What do you see as some of the big mistakes that people are making, or maybe some of the myths that people are believing in? Because you're obviously answering a lot of questions in that forum.
Yeah. First, they want to lose weight, right?
Right.
I understand this. I mean, they're overweight, so naturally you want to lose weight. But the thing is, health doesn't work like that. You achieve
Mm.
health and your weight will go down, and focusing on the weight will set you up for some pitfalls. It's the under eating and they're looking for quick fixes and medicines, basically. So they're stuck in this allopathic medicine thinking where you want to gain health, so you think you need to eat something that will make you healthy. The thing is, you need to just stop doing everything you have been doing, basically, like that ruins the health. But also not just run away from the bad stuff, not run away from the bad foods or bad habits, but you need to find new darling foods and new darling habits.
Mm.
So like, you need to identify the stuff that is harming you and move away from that. But you cannot run away from it. You must run towards something new, something different. This is very important.
Fantastic.
It's a huge difference in thinking, right? And that makes a big difference. And also be prepared to have a bit of a fight. I mean, there are going to be addictions for most people: salt, fats, and oils, and all sorts of different weird stimulating foods like leeks and onions and garlic and stuff like that. Cacao, for example. I mean, these are not the worst things, and it's not going to kill you if you do it once in a while. But for me, it was bread, for example. That really brings you down, and once you do it, you get stuck again. So, like, it's not forbidden, but it's also not helpful. and to feel content without these comfort foods, these old things that you used to, used to numb yourself or stimulate yourself or just feel good and complete. You need to fill your heart, you need to fill your mind, you need to fill yourself with something else. You have to fill it for real with yourself, actually.
Wow.
You have to fill yourself and be more content and fulfilled. I mean, that's the word. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. And that's why we love listening to you, and we love getting your advice and your videos as well, because you've got some real inspiring thoughts and motivating thoughts to help people get rid of their excuses and move towards a healthier life. So I really I've enjoyed speaking to you today. And is there any last thing that you want to mention before we close off for the day?
Yeah, I want to say thank you for that feedback and encouragement. It's really helpful because I do want to help, and when I hear that it is actually helpful, it inspires me also to do more, and it's very well received. Yeah.
Well, I want to tell everyone that I've had times with Rob at all these festivals, so many different events. Also, at a small event in London. You probably remember that as
Yes.
well, where we all stayed in a flat together, and the lady that ran the event didn't show up, so we had to put on this party for like 50 people. So that was fun. But I just have so many moments of Rob, listening to Rob talk, and just feeling the hairs stand on end because of the inspiration. That was just some of the things he was saying were just really hit me, and I always loved being around him and getting some of that, advice and information from him. So if you want to check out more of what Rob's doing, you can look at Raw Viking on YouTube, and you can also go on the 80-10-10 Raw Vegan Fruitarian forum. You might meet him on there if you ask a question there. And yeah, Rob, where if someone wants to message you or get in touch, do you have any website or contact details you're happy to share?
I am on Facebook, and I am very much public, and I don't deny anybody. You don't have to friend me on there because that way, I mean, the friend list fills up really quickly. You can follow me, you can message me, I will answer.
Mm-hmm.
Get on that 80-10-10 Raw Vegan Fruitarian group on Facebook. We are like around 25,000 members, I think. And I'm a part of the admin team, and we do our very best to help people and keep the atmosphere in there kind of conducive to success and health and actually doing the 80-10-10 lifestyle. And yeah, that's I'm on there. Of course, yeah, check out that YouTube channel. There isn't much, not many new videos now lately, but I definitely want to get back to that too.
Yeah, there's about 30 or 40 videos. I was just checking it out a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everyone for listening. And if you want to hear more from Rob or another interview, just let us know. And I'm sure if he has the time, that we'll be able to sort it out another time as well. And also, if you want to learn more about this lifestyle, we do have a fruit festival in the UK called UK Fruitfest. You can find out more information at fruitfest.co.uk. And you can get a free recipe book and different things there. And we also have a festival this in 2019 from the 21st to the 28th of July. If you're interested in coming along, once again, you'll find information at fruitfest.co.uk. So thank you very much for joining us today, Rob. And just to repeat for everyone, Rob Rehmark is available at Raw Viking on YouTube or the 80-10-10 Raw Vegan Fruitarian Forum on Facebook. Check that all out, and I would advise you to listen again. If you've not taken it all in, re-listen to this video or podcast, however you're watching it, and really take in some of Rob's advice there, and you will see the benefits if you follow his advice and do what he does and cut out the excuses, as he was saying. Thank you very much for joining us today, Rob.
Thank you very much. and yeah, go raw, stay raw, and keep on keeping on.